How many of you ever just want to get away from it all, including school, work, or whatever day-to-day priorities that you have? Maybe play a few rounds of poker while sipping on some ranchadas. Many Americans are in a similar bind where they have minimal vacation time a year, and it just isn't enough time to get away from the daily stresses of American society that we all experience. Wouldn't it be incredible if your getaway could just be right down the street from your very own home? No more long car rides to Tampa for poker chips and ranchadas. Vacation every week if your heart desired. Not to mention, traveling can get very expensive. Unfortunately, this isn't possible for the majority of us Americans due to federal laws which restrict casino and gambling activity throughout many areas of this country. Of the casinos around the country, not including which are in Las Vegas, such as the Hard Rock Casino in my hometown of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, many of them are only allowed to exist due to laws which protects the Native Americans' land. The law basically states those sites are Native American territory, therefore the gambling is permitted. If only it could be this convenient for all of us Orlandians. These laws are put in place to protect people, their families, and children from exposure to gambling, but what lawmakers and citizens as well aren't thinking about is the positives that gambling brings to our society, specifically in terms of economic gains, jobs, and leisure as well. In fact, the gambling industry makes a total contribution of around $240 billion annually and directly employs more than 700,000 people around the country. Given how prevalent tourism is in our city of Orlando, can you imagine how much that would do for our local economy? Just having a few, maybe one or many casinos in the area would do wonders for us. What about in terms of leisure? How about something catered for mom and dad and not just for the kids? Today we'll be talking about casinos and gambling, and most importantly, why Orlando should become the gambling mecca of the state of Florida. By the end of the speech, you will have learned valuable information that will allow gambling to give you a more positive light and better understanding of the advantages to our local economy and many other ways as well to which gambling does for us. As I previously stated, the gambling industry contributes more than $240 billion annually to the economy. That alone speaks volumes to how much it would contribute to our local economy. Think about it. We could use this extra money to improve our roadways and other various forms of construction as well. We could use it towards education and improve the quality of local schools and universities' materials. There's an endless amount of things we could do with the revenue earned from gambling. Another point I would like to address would be jobs. The gambling industry employs more than 700,000 people nationwide. It could be so much more than that even if gambling was considered an encouraged practice in our society, but unfortunately it is not. To put it simply, people here in Orlando would just have jobs, which is, as we know, is a huge problem here in Orlando and many other areas of the country as well. I know you or one of your friends or a family member or someone you know absolutely would need a job at the moment, and they would absolutely be honored to take a job that a casino would be able to provide for them. Many jobs would also need to be filled if we opened up many casinos around the country as well. My final point I would like to address is leisure. I don't need any fancy statistics or interesting facts to prove what kind of fun factor casinos would add to Orlando's vibe. It would no longer be looked at for just its theme parks, which are honestly geared towards kids anyways. It could provide entertainment for mom and dad, and not always being about just the kids all the time. I know I'm tired of those sticky bars, and I wouldn't mind playing a few rounds of poker myself. So altogether, I feel, based on my reasons stated, Orlando needs to open local casinos. It would boost our local economy, provide jobs, and help lower the unemployment rate, and provide a fun factor and an abundance of leisure for people around the city. If you look at it for the good and not for the bad, it would be a wise decision for Orange County to consider the idea of opening up a casino or 10. Thank you for listening, and take care. Thank you.